Hi guys, welcome back for episode number 38 of the weekly playback. So I'm going to discuss a couple games that I didn't get to discuss last week and then some new ones. So I guess we will jump right in. So the first game I will talk about is So You've Been Eaten, which I did show you guys in the last video, kind of in the haul section, but this time I was able to play a two-player game of it. So this is a game that is a 2022 game. It's for 1 to 2 players. It also says that there's a 0-player version of it, like mode of it, but I haven't played the 0-player mode of it, so I don't know how that works. It is designed by Scott Almes, and the artist is Kwanchai Moria, and it's published by Ludi Creations Games. So this game, I would describe it as kind of like a tug of war, but not really. I mean, it describes it as action points, dice rolling, hand management, which is, correct, set collection, and variable player powers. Board, which you will put together, so I can just show you the pieces. Okay, let's see. So you're going to have this board, and which will be put together. And on one side is going to be the beast side. No, sorry, this is the minor side. And then you're going to have the tract, which is like, like I guess the esophagus or whatever of the beast. And then on the other end, you're going to have all the bacteria, which will have their own tracks. So there's 4 different bacteria types. And so if you are the miner, you are trying to collect 7 different crystal types. Sorry, 8 different, not 7, 8. 8 different crystal types. I feel like I can't talk today. And if you are the beast, you want to infect the miner with bacteria so that you win. There's different modes of winning. So the different modes of winning are that the miner has collected all 8 crystals, in which case the game ends immediately and the miner wins. The second scenario is if at the end of the beast's turn they cannot refill their hand, then the miner would get 1 more turn and then the game would end, and then you are going to see who has the most points by looking at how many crystals the miner has collected and how many of their actions they were able to upgrade. They're able to upgrade 3 actions, and so those would be worth 1 point each. And then the beast would look at how many immune response cards they have in play, and then they would also get 0, 1, or 2 points for each bacteria type depending on the infection level, and then they would subtract 1 point each for each card they have in their hand that has a crystal on it. So in that case you would see who wins based on points, or the last scenario is when the miner has become infected with bacteria because one of the bacteria has reached level 4, then the miner dies instantly and the beast wins. So the miner is going to be rolling 3 dice. Not this one, I think that's for solo mode. And they're going to be taking different actions on the board so they can try. So some of the different actions available to them are to stun, where they can push a stomach card away from them. So there's going to be all these stomach cards in play. So let me just show you an example of some. So like these are our stomach cards, and there's going to be 7 of them in the tract, and one's going to be closest to the miner and one is going to be closest to the beast, obviously, and there's going to be a bunch of cards in row, and some of these cards will display a crystal type as as well as the bacteria, and some of them will have a tool that the miner might be able to collect. So the miner is trying to collect the crystals by using different actions. So stunning would allow them to push stomach cards away from them, because at the end of their turn, whichever bacteria is closest to them, that is the one that is going to advance on the bacteria track. They can try to eliminate by, so if there are 2 bacteria types that are identical to each other, or 3, they can eliminate those cards. So they have to be adjacent to each other in order to be eliminated. They can try to, upgrade their actions. They can, what else can they do? They can adjust. So, on the action board is like all the different actions available for the miner. So you can see here. And in order to upgrade, they need to be able to, is this upside down? I think it's upside down. Yes, this is the right way up. So they need to be able to use a certain die in order to upgrade certain actions, and they're always going to just place dice in the action location that they want. There's going to be these upgrade tiles that you will remove. So you're going to have, let me just show them to you. So let me just put them in so you can see what they look like. So yeah. So Oh, did I do this wrong? How does this go in? Go in. Okay. No. Okay. No, that's not the right way. That's not the right way either. Which way does this go in? Okay, I don't know how that goes in. I'm obviously doing something wrong here. But anyway, there's these tiles that are going to cover the upgraded portion, and I cannot figure out how they work right now. I'm just trying to... Oh, here we go. Sorry, I think I got it. One second. Okay, here we go. Clearly I would suck at puzzles. Okay, so they're gonna fall, but like you would have these here covering the upgraded portions, and when you upgrade it you would get to remove it. So then when you take an action you can choose the upgraded action, which is obviously going to be like more powerful. The miner on his turn can sometimes cover these back up. So the miner, sorry, not the miner, the beast. So the miner is going to use all of his dice if he wants to. He doesn't have to, but obviously it's encouraged to use all of the dice to take their actions. And then after they take their actions, they are going to see which bacteria type infects them, and then it will be the beast's turn. So the beast is going to have a certain number of stomach cards in hand. Their hand size is 7, and they are going to start refilling the stomach tract. And then they will be able to acquire immune response cards. So in play there are going to be certain immune response cards. There's a deck of them. So let me just show you some of those. So like here are some examples of immune response cards. So there's going to be 3 of them out, and the miner can spend energy in order to buy them. Energy will be equal to the amount of crystals that are showing in the stomach tract, and then if he doesn't have enough energy he can discard a stomach card from his hand, which will count as 1 energy point. Of course you need to be careful about that, because if you're discarding cards from your hand size is getting lower. You cannot add those cards to the draw pile for the stomach tract, and again remember, if the draw pile runs out then that triggers one of the game ends where you see who has the most points in order to win. So there's different immune cards which do different, powerful things for the miner. I did feel like a couple of them were overpowered. So for example, let me see if I can find one of the overpowered ones. Yeah, this one. So there's a couple of these cards. So this one says, if the yellow bacteria has reached the 3rd level, you immediately win. First of all, this is not super expensive to buy. There are cards that actually cost more energy than this one. There are some cards which cost 5 energy, but this one only costs 4 energy. And I feel like it's not that difficult for the bacteria to reach level 3. So I feel like this is overpowered, and they have one for each of the colored bacteria types. So actually what happened was, when we were playing, I was the beast and my friend was the miner. And I like this game because also, in addition to these immune response cards, there are these cards, which let me show you. So the beast has, oops, that's in the wrong deck. So the beast has these cards in hand. So they have these cards, I can't remember what they're called exactly. Let me just double check. These are called mutation cards. So the beast starts with 9 mutation cards in hand, 2 for each bacteria type, and then an exclamation point. So after the beast takes his turn, starting with the 2nd turn onwards, he will put one of these mutation cards face down next to his board. And then once the miner takes his turn, you will reveal this, and if it matches the bacteria type that infected the miner, then you get to take away one of the crystals from the miner. And if that player doesn't have a crystal you can take away, then you can cover up one of their upgraded spots again with the cover so that it's no longer upgraded. So these, you're trying to kind of predict what the miner is going to do. Are they going to try to eliminate some cards, push some cards around? Like, what are they going to try to do, so that you can try to predict which bacteria type will infect them, so that you can use these. And once a card is played, it's out of play, unless it's the exclamation card, because that is like your bluff card, like where you don't actually want to play a mutation card, but you still have to put something down. So this will come back in your hand, but all the other ones will be eliminated from the game once you use them. So I like the part of this game where you're kind of trying to predict what the other player is going to do. I think it's a lot of fun. I like games in which you do that. And so the game that I played with my friend, it was a really interesting game because, first of all, I was winning, but the friend I played against is really smart, by the way. He's like a professor at Cornell. He teaches computer science and artificial intelligence. He's like really, really smart. Oh, and what was the funny thing? When he would take his turns, he also designs puzzles, not like jigsaw puzzles, but he designs puzzles that are like really difficult to solve. So he brought one of his puzzles, and I'm gonna just throw up a picture. Don't look at the picture unless, you know, in case you end up buying it, because that's actually the solution. But I had to try to fit these blocks into a circle, and oh my god, it was so freaking hard. So I would work on his puzzle while he was taking his turn, since he has AP. So that was a really good solution to his AP, like me not being annoyed by his AP, because in the meantime I would be solving his puzzle while he's taking his turn. So anyway, so he's really a smart guy. So, you know, he played, I would say, very well, but the beast, me, still won. So, you know, I would be curious to know if any of you have played this game, what you played as, and who ended up winning, because you know, as I played it, you know, it had been a long time since I played it, because, you know, the last time I obviously played this game was when I had the prototype version of it, when I was covering it for Kickstarter, and you know, that was a really long time ago, so I couldn't remember too much. But playing it again, I was like, yeah, you know what, I wonder if the miner ever wins, to be honest, because I feel like it's really hard for them to get their crystals and trigger the win. You know, if the deck runs out, they may be able to make me get rid of my cards, because they have the ability to discard cards, and they also have the ability to discard immune response cards. So if I, you know, because another win condition for the beast is if I have 5 immune response cards by the end of my turn, I would win. So that's another win condition for the beast, which I think is really, you know, not that difficult for the beast to reach. So if you've played this game, I would be really curious to know, you know, what you think of it, and whether you think it's, you know, kind of tilted towards the beast winning most of the time. I would just be curious, and I definitely want to play again. I want to play as the miner next time and then see how I feel about it, but I still really love this game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the theme is just really fun and different, you know, from a lot of games that you have, that I have at least. So yeah, so I really enjoyed my recent play of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. So that was one of the games I played recently. So You've Been Eaten. Yeah, so this is a game I would definitely keep in my collection. I really like it. The next game I want to talk about is a game I don't own, but I'm hoping someday I will own it, because I really enjoyed it. I actually reached out to the publisher. So the next game I want to talk about is Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest. And this is a 2022 game published by Stonemaier Games, designed by Paolo Mori, and the artist is Lamaro Smith. And this is for 1 to 6 players. So this is a game in which each player is going to have a deck of 40 cards. I really wish I had this game to show you guys. So I reached out to Stonemaier Games. I've never received a review copy from them. So I reached out to Jamie, and I asked him for a review copy, but he has his own specific system for giving out review copies. So I put myself into his system, and the next time a spot becomes available for someone to get a review copy of something, you know, maybe I'll get that spot. It's like, he said it's like randomized or whatever, but we'll see. So I really want a review copy of this, because I loved it. I enjoyed it so freaking much, and I would love to be able to actually show you guys the components, and it would make it easier to explain, but I'll do the best I can. So each player is going to have a hand of 40 cards that have different characters on them, and I absolutely love the artwork in this game. I did not realize, like maybe I should have realized, but you know, that it's a pirate game, but I actually didn't know that. So it's a pirate themed game, and the artwork, the pirates in this game are animals, and I love it so freaking much. They are like the coolest animals. The artwork is just so nice. I absolutely love it. So each character in your hand will do a different ability. They're numbered 1 through 40. So one player is going to shuffle his deck. Everyone else will have theirs in numerical order, and you'll see why in a minute. So the player who shuffles the deck is then going to draw a hand of 6 cards, and they're going to tell all the other players which cards they need to draw, and that's going to be your hand for the first voyage. The first voyage, I believe, if I remember correctly, takes place over 4 days, so essentially 4 rounds. There are 3 voyages in a game. The second voyage, I believe, is 5 days, and the last voyage is 6 days, so 6 rounds. So in the first day, you're going to play 4 cards, so you'll have 2 cards left over, which will then be in your hand, and then you'll do that whole process again where you have 6 new cards, 6 new identical cards to add to your hand. But now there might be a little bit of a mixture of cards because not everyone played the same 4 cards in the first voyage. And then in the last voyage, you're going to have an additional 4 cards, which may be different from the 6 that you are going to draw for that round, because again, in the second voyage, not everyone will have played the same cards. So I absolutely love that. So, you know, different cards do different things. You're going to have this like tracker, I don't know what it's called, but on the, you know, so you're going to put your card, you're going to secretly select a card, then everyone's going to reveal it at the same time, and then you're going to put them in numerical order from left to right, from least to highest. And then you're going to see the cards and look at the symbols underneath them. If there's a tie, you're going to look at the reputation tracker, and whoever has a lower reputation value will get to come first in the turn order, which can make a difference sometimes. Oftentimes. So the cards will have different abilities. Like some of them will have a sun ability, some of them will have a sunset ability, some of them will have a nighttime ability, some of them will have a post-voyage ability. So you are trying to collect loot, but also, you know, mess things up for other players. So, you know, different abilities will allow you to do different things. So first you're going to resolve the sun abilities. You're going to go down the line, starting with the lowest number to the highest number, see and resolve the sun abilities from lowest to highest number. If someone has an ability that prevents someone else who had the same card chosen from, you know, fulfilling that ability, then too bad for them. They won't be able to fulfill it. Then in reverse order, starting with the highest number going down, you're going to start taking loot from the current day. And there's going to be like as many loot items as there are number of players, I believe. And so you will pick an item of loot, and different loot items will do different things. They will affect you in different ways. Some of them negatively, some of them positively. And some of them will affect you right away. Some of them you will wait until the end of the voyage. So yeah, so it's a really fun game. You can manipulate the loot. You can try to use certain cards to move loot from one day to another, like exchange loot. You can try to steal loot from other players. I love this game so much. Like, I really enjoy games like Broom Service or Witch's Brew, where you have cards and you're trying to kind of play these mind games with other players and figure out what they're going to pick. And this game does it so well. I loved it so freaking much, and I cannot believe I didn't know what this game was about. And now that I know what it's about, I really, really want it. Like, I really, really want it in my collection, and I would love to be able to show you guys the board and show you everything and how it plays with the components. But yeah, it's a great game with great components. I absolutely loved it. Oh, I played a 6-player game of it, which was so much fun. So in the second round, one of the cards that came up in the second voyage was the Aristocrat, or Aristocat, because I think in this case it was actually a cat dressed up as an aristocrat. Everyone used their aristocrat card. Everyone except for one player used it in the second voyage. And then other players would try to kill off other players' aristocrats, because if you were the only aristocrat, you would get like 8 coins at the end of the voyage. But if there was more than one aristocrat, you would actually lose coins. So the way to win is to have the most coins in your treasure chest by the end of all 3 voyages. So everyone except for one other player and me played their aristocrats in the second round. And then in the third round, in the third voyage, in the third to last day, someone else played their aristocrat card, and luckily someone else killed it. And I think no one else realized that I still had my aristocrat card, so I played it in the very last day, which was good, except I still didn't win. Like, I thought I was going to win. Like, I thought I was collecting enough coins. So what happens is when you collect coins in a voyage, you add those coins to your treasure chest, which then cannot be removed from the treasure chest. So each voyage you're collecting actual coin tokens, but then at the end of that voyage, you have this like treasure chest tracker, which you just adjust the numbers on it. It's like a dial, and then those coins cannot be lost. And then whoever has the most at the end of the game wins. Really great game, highly recommend it. So that was the next game I played. The next game I will talk about is Bruges, which is an older game, but it was my first time playing it while in the city of Bruges. So this game was from 2013, designed by Stefan Feld, and the artist is Michael Menzel, and the publisher is Z-Man Games, I guess. So this is a city building economic game, dice rolling, hand management game. So let's see. So you are going to have, I didn't play with the Zwin expansion, but you're going to have this board. In each round, the starting player is going to roll some dice and then place them in high to low numbers there. You're also going to have like some kind of a reputation tracker here. You're going to have canals that you're going to be building as well. Let me see if I can remember how to play this. Oh no. Some of the components have fallen out. Oh no, this is such a mess. This traveled across the ocean with me and back, so as you can imagine, it's a bit of a mess in here. Let me see what I can do here. So there's different cards, and different cards have different colors. So let me just show you. Oh god, I hope these aren't all mixed up, but let's see what I can do. So each card, you're going to be trying to build houses and then put people into those houses. It's a bit hard for me to remember. So like, for example, each card here will show you the various actions you can take. So let me just look at the rule book, because I know I'm just doing a really terrible job right now. Okay, so yeah, so let's see. You're going to first draw cards to your hand size. You're going to distribute threat markers. So yeah, so you're going to roll the dice if you're the starting player, and then if a die value shows a 5 or a 6, each person's going to take a threat marker. And if you get 3 threat markers of a single color, that will negatively affect you. Different threat markers will do different things, so you don't want those threat markers, but you know, by playing a card from your hand, you can eliminate a threat marker, so that's good. Then everyone will have be able to advance 1 reputation step if they want to by paying guilders. That is equal to the sum of every die showing a 1 or a 2. So if you rolled like 3 dice showing 1, then you would pay 3 guilders to advance once on the reputation track. And then you're going to take turns playing the cards on your hand. So each player, one after another, plays exactly 1 card from their hand to do 1 of the 6 possible actions. So the actions are to take workers. So you can take a worker matching the color. So you'll take workers matching the color of the card that you are playing. So in this case, I would be able to take 2 red workers. You can take guilders. So like, for example, if I played this red card, I would be able to take guilders matching the number that is showing on the die of this color. I could discard a threat marker of this color. I could build a canal token. I could build a house of this color. And in order to build a house, you need to play 1 card face down in front of yourself to show that you have built a house, and you must pay 1 worker of the same color as the house you wish to build. And yeah, and then houses will score you points at the end of the game, 1 point per house. Or you can recruit a person. So recruiting a person means you are going to play a card onto one of your empty houses. Only one house can hold 1 person. So you're going to pay the cost that is shown in the upper left-hand corner. So if I wanted to add this person into a house, it would cost me 9 coins. And it would cost me 9 coins because people who are recruited into your homes have special abilities which you can use once per round. So this one says, this is an immediate one. It says immediately use a person of your choice from an opponent's play area. Exception, no final scoring cards. So you're trying to add people into your houses so you can use their special abilities. It's basically like an engine building game. So you're creating an engine of homes and of people in those homes to try to win. I liked it. You know, I was a little bit underwhelmed, I guess. You know, I thought it was a good game. I really liked it. I just, you know, I think because of everything I'd heard about this game, I guess it was overhyped in my mind, so just a little bit underwhelmed by it, but I really did think it was a good game. Like, okay, here's the thing. I did not think that the theme mattered at all. I think that was my issue with it. Like, literally, this could have been any theme. It could be any city. Like, you know, it didn't really have anything to do with Bruges. Like, it could literally be any city. You could have this set in Iran. You could have it set in, you know, America. Like, it doesn't matter, I think. So, you know, that to me, you know, when I feel like the theme doesn't matter, that sometimes gets to me. So that was the only issue. But again, you know, I played this actually in the city of Bruges, so maybe that, you know, contributed to me not being super wowed by it, because I was like, oh, like, you know, it just, you know, it didn't really remind me of Bruges. Like, you know, as I'm playing it, I didn't feel like, oh, like, it's reminding me of the city that I'm currently in. So the different threat markers, if you end up with 3 of a kind, they'll do different things. So like, for example, if you end up with 3 blues, you have to return all of your workers to the supply, and workers can be hard to come by. But again, you're going to create an engine to try to get the workers you want. I had a really good engine going for purple workers, and I was trying really hard to build a lot of purple houses because I had a card that would give me more points for purple houses in the end. Plague, the brown threat markers, you must discard 1 person of your choice from your play area. Yellow, you must return all of your guilders to the bank. Red, fire, either discard 1 of your built houses or discard 1 of your built canal tokens. And then purple, you would lose 3 points. So in the end of the game, the scoring is that you will score for people. So all the people you have in your houses, you'll get the points equal to them. You'll score 1 point for each house you have. You'll get any points from people who give you end of score bonuses, majority markers. So this was another interesting thing. So at the end of each round, each phase, I don't know if like, I don't want to say round, I guess each year maybe, I guess the game takes place over a certain number of years. You are going to see who has majorities, who has the most canal tokens, who has the most houses, and I think the last one is who has the most people, and they'll get a special majority marker that you'll get to flip over, which will be worth points at the end of the game. You can't lose it once you get it. So like if someone else all of a sudden has a majority and they beat you, like you still get to keep yours. So I thought that was a bit weird. And then canal, whoever, you know, you'll get points for the canals that you've built. Like there's a certain section, when you get to it, you get a certain number of points. And then, of course, your reputation if you advanced on the reputation track. So that is Bruges. So it's a good game. I liked it. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I would. So, and I know that Hamburg is going to be a re-implementation of this game. I actually do have Hamburg coming to me, so I guess I'll be able to compare them and then see how I feel. But for now, I'm going to keep Bruges in my collection. I think I would like to play it again, maybe at a higher player count. I played it at a 2-player count. Again, I thought it was good. I just did not think it reminded me of the city of Bruges. Like, this is one of those games I think you could just change the theme completely, which I guess the designer has done himself. I mean, he's made it into a Hamburg game now, Germany game. And you could just change some of the character names and, you know, have them look like characters from, you know, the place that you are now setting the game in. So yeah, so I think it would be cool if someone, you know, made like a Middle Eastern version of that. So yeah, so that was the next game I played. Let's talk about... So I want to talk about a game. Okay, so I've talked about that. Okay, so there's 2 games I want to talk about that are left. I want to talk about Drags to Riches because I covered this for its Kickstarter, and I know it only has a couple of days left. This is a deck building game. You know, it's so you are drag queens and you are trying to create, like, you know, the most impressive look. So you will start with certain cards in hand. Everyone, let me see if I can just show you. So each player is going to be a different drag queen character, and each one has a special ability that they can use once per game. So you can use your ability once per game. Now, as you know, I love deck building games. I don't think that this does anything remarkable, but it is a good deck building game. Like, it's fun, and if you like the theme, then I think it's worth checking out. Like, again, I don't think it does anything super unique, but it is a fun deck building game. So each person is going to start with a starting hand of cards. So each person will start with a first set of heels, a first set of makeup, first accessories, first hair, and first outfit, and then some money. And on your turn, you will be able to, let me try to remember, I think you can play as many cards as you want against other players. Like, so some cards will allow you to play cards against other players, which are like, what do you call them? Shade cards. So you can like throw shade at other players. You will be able to, and they'll be able to block your shade with block shade cards. You can add cards to your look. If you add a card to your look, you cannot use that card for its money coin value later to then buy cards from the market during the, I can't remember. I think they try to use words that were like, you know, that go with the theme of the game, work phase, like the work it phase. So during the work it phase, you can buy as many cards as you want from the market, from, you know, all the coin values of cards in your hand. And then, yeah, so you're just trying to create a look. And when you create a look, you're going to be trying to buy more advanced cards from the market, like more advanced hair types, makeup, accessories, and you want to create a look. And you want to have your look be worth the most amount of points because there are going to be certain event cards that come up, and at the end of each round, after everyone has gone, you are trying to win these by revealing your look. You will choose whether or not you want to compete and reveal a look. If you choose to compete and if you lose, then your look will be discarded. So all that work will go to waste. If you choose not to compete, then you can keep it hidden until you do decide to compete at some point. If no one competes, then the current event, trophy, whatever, will just be discarded. So these are going to be points at the end of the game. So you're trying to get the most points by the end of the game, prestige. So that is the game, really. So like I said, it's a good deck building game. It's fun. It's very colorful, and I do love color. So, so if you are someone who also loves color, maybe worth checking out. So yeah, so this has just a couple of days left on Kickstarter, so I thought I would just, you know, bring some more attention to it, even though I did a video for it. So yeah, so again, you know, drags to riches. And the last game I want to talk about, which I played, was Pier 18, and I played this while sitting in a bar in Brussels. So I don't drink, but my friend did, so just thought I'd put that out there in case anyone is wondering. So this card, you are going to have a pier that you are building, and different cards do, I'm trying to remember how this works. So all I remember is I was not a huge fan of this, so maybe that's why I can't remember how it works too well. But I just knew I wasn't that impressed with it when I played it. So you are going to have, each player takes 3 cards. I don't remember too much. Okay, so you start with a foundation card, and you're going to have a plan card, and your plan card is going to indicate your own personal goal. And then you're going to take turns drafting cards. So there's all, like in a 2-player game, there's always going to be 3 cards there, and each person will draft a card, and then the remaining card will be the card that determines who gets like some bonus points. I can't remember. The patron phase. There's a patron phase, and you're going to look at that card to see who has like the most symbols of some kind on their boardwalk, and then that person will get that patron card, which I guess they'll keep upside down or something like that, or next to their boardwalk. It was an okay game. It wasn't that great. I just, you know, in terms of 18 card games, it's not one that I would pull out again, I think. So I might call this one, actually. I like the artwork, it's pretty, but you know, in terms of 18 card games in which you're trying to collect things and, like, you know, have like a spatial puzzle in which you're trying to, you know, have certain things be next to each other or whatever, just not one of my favorites. So yeah, so that was Pier 18 from Alley Cat Games. So I want to talk about games that I am backing. So I know I said I was going to try to save my money, and I really want to try really hard to save my money, but a game came up that had been on my wish list for a very long time. Like the moment I saw the cover for this board game, I knew it was a game I had to have, and I had had it on my wish list on BGG for so long. And, you know, for the longest time, I just kept on wondering, when is this game going to be released? Like, when are they going to publish this game? Like, I really wanted to be able to cover it, and I guess, you know, it happened, you know, like underneath my nose, and I didn't even realize, so I didn't even reach out to the publisher to see if I could be one of the lucky ones to cover it, but that's okay. So I backed Skyrise from Roxley Games, which is currently on Kickstarter. So let me just see what it's at right now. So right now it is at the moment of me recording this, it is at $219,387 with, oh, it just went up, with 3,155 backers, and it has 13 days to go. So this is an auction bidding game. The artwork is stunning. It's a Roxley game, so production quality is going to be through the roof. I am backing the collector's edition. I do have the collector's edition of, as well, Brass Birmingham, which is also published by Roxley Games. And of course I have, you know, I told you guys that when I had gone to PAX Unplugged, I had received a review copy of Radlands, and then I had received the basic copy of that game, but then I went ahead and bought the deluxe edition of it because I really liked it. So, you know, Roxley, you know, always delivers, I feel like, with their games. And this, you know, I think is going to deliver as well. From what I've read of everyone who has had a chance to play this game, you know, they love it. It sounds amazing. It sounds like my kind of game. I really enjoy auction bidding games. And the deluxe looks amazing. The artwork really appeals to me because, as you guys know, I'm into the whole steampunk vibe, and the colors, everything about this game just super appeals to me. So yes, I am putting myself in more debt, more credit card debt, to back this game because I really want it. I really want the deluxe edition. So And apparently you can only get the deluxe, the collector's edition through the Kickstarter, I believe. They may have a limited number afterwards, I think, but if you really want it, you kind of have to go in on this Kickstarter. However, they are offering a discount if you buy an additional copy through this Kickstarter. You can get, I believe it's a 20% discount on the second copy. Yes, we are offering 20% off for each second copy you pledge for the campaign. During the campaign. So if I can find someone else who wants to pledge for this game as well, then we can calculate how much 20% off would be, and then add those two prices together, add the shipping together, and then just divide it in half so that we would both be saving money. So if I can find someone who wants to do that with me, I would, that would just be a way to save a little bit of money. I mean, not a huge amount, but little bits add up to a lot, right? Like if you keep on thinking $3 here is nothing, $3 there is nothing, trust me, those $3 really add up to a lot over time. So, if you can save a little bit of money, then why not? So if I can find someone who wants to go in on this with me, I think I would do that. So yeah, so it just looks stunning. And instead of stretch goals, they have what they're calling funding quests. So the most recent funding quest that was funded was an upgraded bag. They have so far a metal key and coin, wooden patron tokens for the collector's editions only, alternate tall sculpts, which look amazing, dual layer boards, and the upgraded bag. And the next funding quest is a custom color insert at 285,000. I don't know if we'll reach that, but let's see. In total, they said that are going to have 18 funding quests. At least they have spaces for 18. I cannot imagine how much money would be required to get the 18th funding quest, because already I feel like a bit nervous, like can we reach it, especially with the cost of living so high these days. And I completely understand. So when I asked my question to you guys last week about, are you backing anything, so many of you said no, because finances are just tight right now. And I totally understand. Like to fill up my car with gas, like if it's completely near empty, to fill it up costs me over $60, over 60 US dollars. I mean, that's a lot of money. So I completely get it. I understand, and finances are tight for me as well. But, I just didn't want to miss out on the collector's edition, so I put it on a credit card. And the next game I'm backing, so, I will be completely transparent. I reached out to the publisher to see if I could back it at the $1 level and have them credit my account for a review copy so that I could create coverage for it, because it looks like a game that is really up my alley and I know I would love it. And they said yes. So I'm backing it only at the $1 level so that they will credit my account so that I can create coverage for it. Is Septima from Mind Clash Games, which looks absolutely stunning. Like as soon as I saw it, a game about witches and covens and healing people, the artwork is just so appealing to me. It's like so unique and just so freaking beautiful. I just knew I had to have it. So I'm so grateful that the publisher has decided that they will credit my account and let me have a review copy of that. I think that's amazing. So, if in the future I can work with them again, I, have, created a 1-minute video for Tricerion. It wasn't sponsored or anything. This was like way early on when I very first started creating content back in 2020. But yeah, if I can work with them to maybe do a giveaway someday, I think that would be really great, because I would love to be able to give away a Mind Clash game. They are just amazing. So yeah, so that's the other game I'm backing at $1. So let's move on. So let's move on to games that I have received, but in case my camera is overheating, I'm just going to stop it and then come back. Okay, let's talk about the games which I have received recently. The first one I will talk about is one I'm so excited about, is Transmissions. So I was supposed to get Monsters on Board delivered the same day as this one, but Monsters on Board for some reason still hasn't shown up, but this one did, and oh my god, I'm just in love with it. So this is designed by A.B. West, and the art is by Matt Dixon, and I just received it like a few days ago, I guess, last week. So this is a game for 1 to 4 players, but on the box it says 2 to 4, but I did see in the rulebook that it has a solo mode. So let me just show you the board, which is, I just love the artwork. Like I've told you guys, so many times that you're probably sick of me saying it. I love when board games have like unique styles of art, because I just get tired of seeing the same kind of thing over and over. Here are the individual player boards. Score pad. There are different types of tiles. The insert is really nice. I'll just hold it out to show you guys. When, you know, when a game has a good insert, I appreciate it. If a game comes with an insert and I feel like it's total crap, like the one for Merchants of the Dark Road, the big insert, and that was just utter garbage, and I even made a video about how terrible I thought it was, and I threw it away. So yeah, but when an insert is done properly, I love it, yes. And this one, I got the one that comes with these robots, and I love them so freaking much. Oh my god, I just love them so much. And I'm not even a huge fan of robots, but these ones are just so freaking cute. Like, I never thought I would be this excited about robots, to be honest. Like, oh, actually, you know what this reminds me of? I wonder if it's the same artist or the same universe. There used to be a game with a cute little robot that I had on my computer, and it was like, he was, oh god, what was it called? I think it was like called, oh my god, was it Mechanica, or I don't know what it was called. I used to have this computer game on my computer, which I so badly sucked at because I had no clue what I was doing. It was just a cute little robot that looked kind of like this, and the artwork looked similar to this, and he was going around collecting stuff, and I just sucked at it so bad, so I really had no clue what I was doing, just like in Myst many years ago. Oh, I need to remember what it was called, because I wonder, let me just look up the, because I think in the rule book it said that this is based on the universe of something, so maybe Lovely Illustrated Transmissions, Mechanical Friends to Matt Dixon. Let me look up Matt Dixon, because maybe I can find it. Computer game, maybe? Let me see. Matt Dixon, Moby Games. I know I'm wasting your guys' time. I'm sorry. Oh my god, it looks so similar to it. I wish I could remember the name of that computer game I had that just looked so freaking cute. Anyway, I don't know. So yeah, so then it has a bunch of different tiles. It has these like other tiles. I don't know what they're called yet. I forgot. But it has a bunch of these. It has starting tiles for players. It has these components. I don't know if the blocks go with the different player colors, because interestingly there's yellow, green, and blue, and then white. And there's yellow, blue, and green robots, but a pink robot, not a white one. So I'm wondering if those cubes are player pieces or not. I don't know. And then it looks like each player does get their own hand of cards, because these cards have different backgrounds. So these are like some of the cards, and of course I sleeve them, as you know I would. And then it has a bunch of these cards as well. So yeah, so this is Transmissions, which I had backed on Kickstarter, and I'm just so happy it came. The non-deluxe edition comes with these standees, and it comes with really nice bases for those standees, like they're really nice. So if you didn't get the deluxe, even then it would be really nice, I think. So yeah, so I was really excited to play Transmissions, and I've been begging people to play it with me since I received it, but so far it has not happened, but hopefully soon. Okay, so that is the first game. The next game I will show you guys, I'm actually not going to open because I think I'm going to give it away, is Cult of the Deep. So this is a game I had covered for its Kickstarter launch, but I'm not going to open it because I think I'll just give it away. Because you know, I have way too many board games, so like I said, I'm trying to be more selective about what I keep. But this is the deluxe version, the all-in version, and it came with a bunch of these. I don't even, like, these are super heavy, so whoever wins this is going to cost a lot of money to ship to. Speaking of giveaways, so I already did the first giveaway for my Ko-fi Emerald and above subscribers. I only got 2 entrants, but I can understand why, because you know, the game that I was giving away was Crescent Moon, and the player count for Crescent Moon is 4 to 5 players. So someone in Washington State won that game, so congratulations to him. I hope he enjoys it. He's already received it, by the way. I shipped it out last week, I think it was. So I need to send out an updated newsletter with that information, and then next month I will be announcing the new giveaway for my Ko-fi members, and that new giveaway will be for Veiled Fate from Ivy Games. But I have so many games just piled up waiting to be given away, so a lot of them, and this will be one of them. I don't think I'm going to keep this because just, you know, I have too many games, and I have games that are similar to this one. And to be honest though, you know, the Cthulhu theme is cool. It's not like something that I'm personally that huge of a fan of, though I did have a dream about Pandemic, the Reign of Cthulhu the other night, which was really weird. But yeah, I'm not like the biggest Cthulhu fan, so I feel like someone else out there might appreciate this more than me. So this is a hit and roll dice game for 4 to 8 players where you are a cultist trying to establish your faction's rise to power. Battle for control of rituals and mythical monsters as you seek victory and control of the cult. So yeah, it's a cool game with really cool artwork and really cool components and these metal tokens and stuff. So someone hopefully someday will want this and win this. The next game I have, which I will show you guys, is Carnegie. So I have the deluxe edition of Carnegie, which I had covered for its Kickstarter from Quinnet Games. Quinnet? I don't know how you pronounce that. Designer is Xavier Georges, and the artwork is by Ian O'Toole. Now, this game, I know I'm not the only one who has this issue. I had to completely tape the board because it just completely fell apart. So here is the rule book. I do feel like the paper quality could be nicer. It feels like newspaper, which is a bit weird to me. I don't know what this is. Is this a score pad? I don't know. I think it's a score pad. Oh, so it's really nice. Each player has their own game tray with the things that, and I'll show you how these slide into your board, but they're really nice. So this is like a economic game, but let me just show you the board and what happened to it. So my board came, so here are the player boards. So let me show you an example of how these things slide in. So stupid me, when I first pulled out the boards, I was actually first trying to take this off. I was like, what is this? Like, why is this like that? And then I was like, oh, duh, because I remember that you slide these things in. So thank God I didn't like rip those off of the back of the boards, because that would have been a huge mistake. But that is really cool how they slide that in. The prototype, I remember, did not have it like this. So that's, I think, why I was a little bit confused when I saw it. So the actual board came completely ripped. So I had to tape it. And the unfortunate thing is, in order to tape it, to make it fold, you have to tape it on the side of the actual playing surface. So in order to make sure it stays put together, I had to tape it over here and over here and over here, which is where the major rip was. Like, it came, when I first received it, it came attached by like a tiny piece of paper that was maybe like this big, like, and then it just completely fell apart. And it's ready to even fall apart at these seams over here, which is why I had to tape it just to keep it together. So yeah, so that is not good quality, not at all. And I feel terrible for the people who had to spend money on backing this and received a board that is of inferior quality like that. That is just not fair. You know, if you spend a lot of money on a game and your board shows up completely torn apart like mine did, that's just upsetting. And I feel bad for people who had to spend money on a game and get their board like that, like I did. But I didn't have to spend money on this because it was a part of my contract for covering it to get a production copy of this. And here are some other tiles and this train, which is really nice. And then there is a bunch of these. I really like this. This is nice. I like this. And then there's, I'll show you the stuff in the bottom. So there are cards for a solo mode, and then I like the money. It's cardboard, but it's like a kind of interesting, it kind of feels like plastic almost. But yeah, I like the cardboard money here. But yeah, that's basically it. So that is Carnegie, and I received my copy pretty much, well after a lot of other people, so I haven't had a chance to play it, but I've seen a lot of pictures on Facebook of people playing it and really enjoying it, so that's good. Let me figure out how everything goes back in. I don't know what this is. I'm trying to remember what this is. I'll have to look in the rule book because I'm like, I don't remember what that is. So that is the next game I received, and those are all the games I have received so far to talk about. So hopefully next time I will have monsters on board to show you guys. So in terms of questions, you guys had some really great feedback about, how you're not spending money on games, because again, everyone is having financial issues with the cost of living being so high these days, and again, I completely understand that. So thank you for your responses. You know, sometimes it's just nice to see that, you know, you're not the only one who has to, you know, forego spending money on a game. Well, actually, you know, I really should have foregone spending money on games last year. I spent way too much money on last year on games, and so I'm trying to do better. So I need to do better. So someone asked a question: what do I feel are the differences between conventions in Europe now that I've been to UKGE and conventions in America? So the only convention I've ever been to in America is PAX Unplugged, and now I've been 3 times, twice as just a gamer and once as a content creator, and now I've been to UKGE once as a content creator. Different vibe from PAX Unplugged and UKGE, like totally different vibes. Like, I don't know if it's because it's Europeans and British people, but I feel like there's more camaraderie in PAX Unplugged. Like, I feel like even when you're out and about and you see other people wearing a lanyard and you know they're there for gaming, I don't know, maybe it's an American thing, but like, you know, you'll end up striking up conversations with other people outside of the convention hall even, and you just share like this excitement about the convention and just being there and, you know, enjoying the same stuff. I feel like I did not get that vibe from UKGE. I just felt like, you know, it could be because I didn't know that many people there, you know. So the first day I was able to meet with some followers and friends from online, but, you know, I didn't go there with friends, so maybe, I don't know if that had something to do with it, but at the same time, like when I was at PAX Unplugged, like I would actually ditch my friends for the day while I would have to go around and meeting publishers or checking out the expo hall, and then I might meet my friends for like food or like playing a game later in the day, but it's not like I'd spend all day with them. So I don't know, but the vibe was different. The vibe was just more, you know, and I think maybe it is a thing with, you know, British people. Like, you know, people used to tell me that I need to stop smiling at people on the tube, because when I first moved to London, I used to just, you know, like as Americans do, we smile at people. So you're on public transportation, you smile at people, you ask them, you know, oh, how's your day going, and blah, blah, blah. And you do that in England and people look at you like you're crazy. So I had to stop doing that when I realized people just don't smile at each other in London. And if anyone ever just did smile at me, like, oh my God, it would like make my entire day. Like if a stranger smiled at me in London, it would really make my entire day. Like that's how rarely it happened. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's just the nature of British people and not, you know, being as friendly with strangers. So the vibe was very different, just totally different vibe. But on the other hand, I, you know, like the vibe, you know, the feeling of them not caring about drama, not caring about bullshit that happens in the board gaming industry. So on that hand, I liked, you know, the focus on just the games. I really, really liked that, at least with my, you know, from my interaction with publishers. Like, you know, I didn't feel apprehensive going up to certain publishers, you know, wondering what they've heard about me, what they feel about me, all the crap that some groups of people have to say about me because they just don't like me and have their own personal agendas against me. Like that kind of stuff I didn't have to worry about, and I really liked that. Like when I'm at PAX Unplugged, I feel like I have to be more cautious about going up to certain publishers because there's just so many cliques in America, and I, you know, at least in the UK, I didn't feel that way. I don't feel like they're cliquey, so that was really nice. So yeah, I definitely want to make UKGE an annual thing because like I said, I used to live there. I still have a bank account there, so it's easy for me to travel back there. And I do try to, you know, pre-pandemic, I used to try to travel back there once a year to visit all my friends, since, you know, I did create a life there for myself and I have friends there and I like to see them and catch up with them and go to my favorite food places. So yeah, so maybe I'm hoping it'll become an annual thing. So the question I would like to leave for you guys is kind of a selfish question because I want to try to get some suggestions for something. So my trip to Africa is coming up really soon, and in fact 2 weeks from now I will actually be in Africa, which is insane. Like I just cannot wrap my head around that right now, that I will actually be in Africa 2 weeks from now. So I am going to have a lot of time by myself. So I will have a 13-hour layover in an airport, and I don't think I'll be leaving the airport just because it's the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, which is, you know, a wealthy nation, and I can only imagine how expensive everything is going to be if I leave the airport. So I think I'm just going to stay in the airport, and a friend of mine suggested to me yesterday that I try to see how much but checking into a lounge in the airport would be, because some of them will have showers and you can just relax and unwind. So I did look up lounges in the Doha, Qatar airport, and one of them seems like it's for people who are not first class, you know, because a lot of them are just for first class and business class, but this one anyone can book into, like get access for by paying for it, but it only grants you access for 6 hours, but 6 hours is enough to maybe, you know, hopefully sleep properly and get a shower and whatever. So I might do that lounge for 6 hours and then spend the other 7 hours in the airport doing whatever, eating, playing games, whatever. So I wanted to know, what are some good solo games that you guys enjoy that have a small footprint that will be not a lot to carry. I don't want to carry an actual sized board game with me. Even Fleet the dice game, which is one of my favorite solo games, I feel like is too big. I don't want to take that all the way to Africa with me. I do have some of the smaller button shy games. Unfortunately, Rove is not arriving in time. I had backed it hoping and praying to God it would arrive in time for my Africa trip, but they said they're not shipping it out until the end of June. That's the other Dustin Dobson game. I believe that was the designer's name, about that cute little rover on Mars. That would have been great to take with me, but that's not arriving in time. So I'm definitely going to take the Skulls of Sedlec. I have Tussie Mussy, which I've never played before, so I'll probably take that. But I want to know, what are some good, you know, small games that you guys would take with you while you're traveling, that have a really small footprint, that are good for traveling, and have good variability, and, you know, will present a good challenge to you that you won't get bored of it so easily. Because also, not only when I'm actually in the airport will I have a lot of time for myself, but my first 2 weeks in Africa, I booked myself a guided safari tour, but you know, it's usually like families and couples who do these things, and I'm going by myself, so I'm going to have a lot of time by myself then as well, like in the evenings, just be completely alone. So you know, I'll probably be reading books. The internet connection, I imagine, is not going to be that great, so I'm probably not going to be watching TV like on my iPad or anything like that. So you know, board games are what I will use to keep myself occupied, I think. And I think I want to try to vlog my Africa trip. So I did I bring it here? Where did I put it? Because I wanted to show you guys. Here it is. So in my last video, oh yeah, and I'll talk about that too. So in my last video, I had talked about how I was really sad about the Hakan interview not working out, and he actually watched my video, and so I'm going to be doing a video chat interview with him next week. So that was very kind of him to reach out and offer to do the interview again. So we're going to do it by video chat. But my new camera did arrive. So this is my new camera, which I'll also be using to shoot playthroughs. So it is the Canon EOS M50 Mark II, and I wanted a white color because I've actually never had a white camera. All my previous cameras have been black, so I'm hoping to vlog. I've never vlogged before. I think it would be fun, especially for such a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I think it would be fun to vlog and then have that video to look back on, you know, years from now, because, you know, who knows when, if and when I'll ever get to go to Africa again. Like, this has been a lifelong dream for me. Like, I've been dreaming of Africa, you know, ever since I was little, and you know, I've always loved animals. If you are friends with me on Facebook, you know how much I love animals and how passionate I am about that. So yeah, so I think it would be a good idea to vlog this trip. So I will try the whole vlogging thing with my new camera, where I'll actually hold it up and talk. It's going to be super awkward. I actually feel really self-conscious talking to a camera in front of people. It actually is not something I like doing. Like, even if I have my family visiting and I need to shoot a video, I feel so embarrassed having to shoot 1-minute videos in front of them. I had to do that one time, and it was just really embarrassing for me. I just feel really self-conscious. So the vlogging thing might be a little bit awkward, but I'll try it. I want to try it and see how it goes. So I hope I'll have like snippets and stuff to post along the, you know, during my trip for you guys. But if not, there will be a vlog to look forward to at the end of that very long 3 weeks. But I will be back next week because I still have, you know, one more weekend before, you know, that I'm here before I go. So you will get a video from me next week, hopefully, and I hope I'll have gotten to play Transmissions. But yeah, please tell me what your favorite small footprint solo games are, so I can see if maybe I have them or if I can get my hands on them in time for Africa. And until next time, you guys, bye.